Minister, I want to again raise an issue with you that's close to my heart, close to the heart of residents across Dublin 15, and that is the provision of the N8 orbital bus service, a new Bus Connect service linking Blanchardstown with Dublin Airport. And I want to just tie down a commitment you did make previously that this route would be up and running by the end of this year, by the end of 2026.
That's what we're hoping to do that, Ian. Just to make it clear again that the NTA is responsible for the provision, scheduling and timetabling of public transport services nationwide, and you know that. So they work with operators to deliver these services. I mentioned in response to questions earlier on that we secured a really significant uplift in PSO funding, 42% increase. We don't want to get back into supplementary budgets every year to provide services. We need certainly this route, the N8, is planned to be implemented as part of Phase 9 of the Bus Connect's Dublin Network redesign programme, and the exact implementation date for the route will be determined by funding provisions and operational readiness. Route N8 will run between Blanchardstown and Clongriffin via Dublin Airport. It'll be critical to your constituents, and when this launches, it will allow seamless and easy interchange with the W4 service, which runs from Tallaght to Blanchardstown. So, to answer your question, I've answered this before. As soon as we can get the funding for this, this is a priority project. Okay, so we've increased the funding. I still think we'll be on track for later this year, early next year, to roll out this service, and that's what we're looking at. If we can do it any sooner, we will. We're seeing significant increases in public transport use. We've expanded the service substantially. Blanchardstown and the D15 area is a major growth area, so this is in the service plan. We do want to deliver it. Have said before, I'd like to get it delivered by the end of the year, and my position hasn't changed on that.
So, Minister, this route is long delayed, as you know. When I contacted the NTA in 24, I was told 25. When I asked them in 25, I was told in 26. When I asked them earlier this year, 26, I was told 27. Now, you and I have discussed this in the Chamber a number of times, and you did give a very strong commitment last time in terms of getting it delivering this year. When I got the written reply back from your department on the same day, it was hedging a bit. It was saying 26, maybe 27. I am a bit concerned about what you've just said there, because I don't feel it was quite as committed to getting this route delivered this year. And I suppose you raised that point about if the funding is delivered. Like, I know you don't day by day run the opening of individual routes, but you are responsible for the money. And I don't know. I'm unclear why you're asking if the money will be ready in this year. You're the person who has responsibility for whether there is the money to deliver the N8 from Blanchardstown to Dublin Airport in 2026, as you've previously committed.
Yeah, and to be fair to you, look, you've advocated for this, and you've also mentioned that you've been asking this question since 2024, that this route was planned and approved before I came in as Minister for Transport. And having said that, what we were able to do in this year's budget was secure €1.6 billion to run our public transport network, and about 960 million in PSO, like 42% up on the previous year, and that gives us a much higher base. I want to get this project, this bus route, delivered this year. I've said that before. I don't have an exact date on that. It is subject to funding, as everything is, but what I really want to do is, with the estimates this year, when we're entering into the estimates, is to take another step up, that we can provide more new services right the way across the country. This year has been very much about stabilising them. I know how important the N8 is, and I know how important it is to that area, and it will be a critical link. It will link also to the W4. So I'll keep you fully informed as to the actual date where we can get the service going. Still my intention to get that started this year.
Minister, this ongoing delay in terms of the delivery of N8, I feel it's emblematic of wider delays in the delivery of bus services, and I suppose I'm referring particularly to my own constituency. We've the B-Spine route delayed. There is a judicial review there. My understanding is that's coming to an end now. But we're seeing large amounts of new houses, and you and I would have been at the opening of many of these new estates over the last number of years, but the additional bus services in places like Hollystown, Tyrrellstown, Kilmartin Grove, all important in terms of dealing with the housing crisis in our country, but they are not seeing those increased level of services and those increased level of capacity. Like, I know already there's pressure that the N8 would be extended to cover areas like Hollystown, like Hollywood Rath, so people have links to the airport and to other areas of high employment. And again, it comes down to that question of money, the question of providing the financial backing to open these new services.
It sure does come down to money. You're absolutely right. And when I came in into the Department of Transport, we were very short of money in PSO funding. And every year what had happened over the term of the previous government is there was supplementary, so basically additional monies added toward the end of every year. And you couldn't plan new services properly in that regard. So my big focus this year was to get that increase in. So it's actually 43% up to 940 million. Much, much higher base, okay? That means that we move from that into next year with a higher amount to provide those new services. I know the area you speak of very well, like in my own area, major growth areas in the Fingal region, providing thousands of new homes, which is something that you and I wanted to do and worked hard to do, and we're seeing more of that happen. The additional bus routes are critical in those areas, particularly those areas that are wholly dependent on bus to get into town. And as I said, not for fear of repetition, it's my intention, working with the NTA, to get this route started this year.